Today, we're diving into a story that asks one of the toughest questions you can imagine. Pearl S. Buck's The Enemy. It's not just a war story, oh no, it's really a gut check on our most fundamental values. So let's get right into it. The whole story really boils down to this single, intense question. Just put yourself in this situation for a second. Your sworn enemy, a soldier from the other side, washes up right in front of you, and he's dying. What do you do? Do you save him? Or do you let nature take its course? This isn't just some abstract thought experiment. It's the reality for a Japanese doctor right in the middle of World War II.
So, where does this impossible choice even happen? Let's set the scene.
Okay, so picture this. We're on the isolated, misty coast of Japan. It's smack in the middle of World War II. In this world, the lines are drawn very, very clearly. There's us and there's them. And your loyalty to your country? Well, that's supposed to be everything. And right there, in a house built on the rocky coast, lives our main character, Dr. Sadao Hoki. Now, he's not just any doctor. He's a top-tier surgeon, so brilliant, in fact, that the army kept him home from the war for one very specific reason. The old general is sick, and Dr. Sadao might be the only person who can save him. Then one evening, something crawls out of the fog. It's a man, thrown by the ocean waves, who staggers just a few steps before he completely collapses. Sadao and his wife, Hana, rush down to the beach, and what they find is shocking. He's a white man, an American sailor, an escaped prisoner of war, and he has a bullet wound in his back. And just like that, this man's arrival lights the fuse on the story's central conflict. Suddenly, Dr. Sadao finds himself caught between two completely different versions of himself. Sadao's mind basically becomes a war zone. On one side, you've got the patriot, thinking, he is my enemy. All Americans are my enemy. But then, the surgeon takes over. All that training just kicks in with one simple thought, but since he is wounded. And you know what? That one phrase changes absolutely everything. Because for a doctor, a wounded person isn't an enemy. They're a patient. Period. And here's the real kicker. This deep-seated medical oath, it was hammered into him in America, of all places. He can still hear his old professor's voice in his head declaring that ignorance of the human body is the surgeon's cardinal sin. Why? Because anything less than total commitment to saving a life? Well, that's murder. That professional oath now goes way beyond war and borders. So in the end, the surgeon wins. They bring the man into their home. The bullet is dangerously close to the kidney. His wife Hana helps him, even though she is absolutely terrified. And in that moment, Sadao isn't a Japanese patriot or an enemy of America. He is 100% a surgeon. And with pure, detached skill, he operates. And he saves the man's life. But, saving one man's life is about to threaten his own. The conflict explodes from this internal struggle into an external crisis that just completely takes over his entire household. Right away, the house is split. Sadao's view is purely clinical. I have been trained not to let a man die if I can help it. Hana is just torn apart. She's loyal to her husband, but scared to death for her family's safety. But the servants? For them, it is completely black and white. The old gardener says it flat out. The master ought not to heal the wound of this white man. To them, patriotic duty is the only duty that matters. And this isn't just some small disagreement. This is a full-on rebellion. After a week, the entire staff, some of whom have been with the family since Sadao was just a little boy, they all quit. They pack their bags and leave in protest. They refuse to be part of what they see as treason. And just like that, Sadao and Hana are completely, totally alone. So the pressure is building. His secret is getting harder and harder to keep. Sadao decides to take a massive risk. He's going to confess everything to the one person who literally holds his life in his hands, the old general. So he goes to the general's palace, and he lays it all out, the whole story. He tells him that an American prisoner of war is in his home, recovering from an operation that he himself performed. I mean, he is basically walking into the lion's den and handing over a signed confession. Now, you'd think the general would be furious, right? But his reaction is just bizarrely practical. He's not worried about treason. He's worried about his own health. He says something like, I can't let them arrest you. I might need another operation. So he offers this chillingly simple solution. He'll just send his private assassins over to silently kill the American and get rid of the body. Problem solved. Sadao doesn't really know what to do, but he agrees. And then he waits. For 3 straight nights, he is completely tormented. The first night, every little rustle in the garden sounds like the assassins are coming. The second night, all he hears is the wind whistling. By the third night, there's just silence. The killers never show up. The strain is just becoming unbearable. Sato realizes he can't count on the general's weird plan, and he certainly can't live this constant fear. He has to fix this himself, which brings us to the story's really profound conclusion.
He just can't take another night of waiting. He tells himself it's not even about the American anymore, that the strain on him and his wife is just too much. So he decides to get rid of the prisoner himself, but not at all in the way the general suggested. And so, after saving the man once on his operating table, Dr. Sadao saves him for a second time. Under the cover of darkness, he gives the American a small boat, packs it with food and water, even gives him a flashlight to signal if his supplies run out. He tells him to row to a nearby island and wait for a passing Korean fishing boat. He has engineered the man's complete escape to freedom. So a few days later, after Sadao successfully operates on the general again, he finally finds out why the assassins never arrived. And the reason is, it's both ridiculous and so revealing. The general just admits it. The truth is, I was thinking only of myself. In short, I forgot my promise to you. All of Sadao's moral anguish, the sleepless nights, it was all because the self-absorbed general simply forgot. So in the end, the prisoner is gone. The servants come back. Sadao's life, on the surface, seems to go right back to normal. The crisis is over. But for Sadao, something has fundamentally changed inside him, and one single haunting question is left behind. As he stands on his porch looking out at the sea, he remembers all the prejudice he faced when he lived in America, all the faces of the people he was taught to hate. He even thinks of the prisoner's white and repulsive face. And still, after all that, he's left with this one question that just echoes in his mind. Strange. I wonder why I could not kill him. And that's the question the story leaves with us, making us wonder if, at the end of the day, our shared humanity is just stronger than any divisions we try to create.